Ah, what a beautiful song and what a beautiful sight. And also every single round started while we were waiting. Everyone was just itching to play. I maybe wasn't clear enough. And as a result, we're going to be watching Mech Knight versus Dinosaur, which is the only one that hasn't yet started. SirEmanon, how are you doing here today?
Doing pretty good, though I think you should rebrand your tournament series to the Mech Knight Monthly because somehow, even though this circuit's been happening for over a year, Mech Knight manages to sneak in a top cut appearance.
I don't
But yeah,
understand. I don't get it. Every single time, some idiot playing Mech Knight is like, oh yeah, okay. Of course, why not? Why wouldn't I play Mech Knight against a Virtual World? And I mean, joke's on us, Mech Knight is in Top Cut and Virtual World isn't.
VW, more like Heck W.
You're stealing that for the video because I said it in the transition. God dang it.
Exactly.
All right, don't worry, everyone. We have got a goof and a gaff, a boof and a blast of a match for you today. We've got Rycape, who has won, I think, 2 Quarantine series on Mech Knight, playing Mech Knight once again versus J Teeth, a newcomer to the Top Cut regulars brigade, but has been really slaughtering people playing Dino. And while Ultimate Conductor Tyranno Pass may not look particularly devastating, when it's followed up with a Droll and Lockbird, it might be enough.
Yeah, I mean, Dino, I feel like performed very, very well in comparison to expectations. It's interesting considering its positioning in the format right now, but of course, this is not one of the expected matchups, I would say.
Yeah, certainly I don't think that everyone showed up to this expecting to play against too much Mech Knight, though in the Chalislime Monthly, usually you do see a lot of Rogue. It's just unlikely that that Rogue actually cracks Top Cut, you know, despite the fact that we had like 60% non-meta and maybe 20% meta adjacent stuff. Top 8 is pretty regular for the most part. We've got 2 Invoked Dogmatica, just people beating Rogue all day. We've got 2 Dinosaur, the highest represented deck, I think, comparative to the power level of it. Much lower strength than something like Drytron, which only had 3 pilots, but still had a 33% conversion with the 1 individual in Top Cut. Then we've got the this and the Sidra deck. How do you feel about Sidra?
Pretty interesting. I would have liked to see how their matches actually, turned out aside from the one that we watched on stream, which unfortunately was not a great display of the deck's full potential. But,
yeah, it didn't go so hot.
Yeah.
That was actually the only match they lost the entire day, though. So they must be doing something right.
Yeah, here we see a pass from Rycape after their entire board just got booked by a singular UCT, but not a whole ton of follow-up as of right now.
Yeah, I mean, no real reason to do anything other than just get hitting. This is interesting. Yeah, I was going to say I expect at least a Forbidden Droplet here. That's so sucky. A replay doesn't occur because the number of monsters didn't change. That means it's just going to flip up a Mech Knight.
Yeah, and actually going to cause Jay to take damage here.
Oh.
You could attempt to activate it, but it just gets negated.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Purple. Yeah, what's interesting now is actually the purple gets flipped up, so it can be activated prior to the end phase of this turn to get a free search.
I think it was maybe, holy guacamole, stop. I think it was maybe possible that they were trying to go for like a cheeky evenly matched play, but what is this? Second main normal summon barrier statue of the Stormwinds. We know that J Teeth is on the Reproducus line, a little more combo oriented, but the downside is sometimes you draw Stormwinds and this happens.
And it doesn't do very well into an established board state. Now, to be fair, UCT can protect it, but there's definitely plenty of ways to try and force it earlier.
Yep, and looks like we are doing it now. I think that was an attempt at end of main.
Yep, and now we can flip up blue and get over it anyway.
Sure, yeah.
So, Lancia we see, I believe this is game 1, correct? So, pretty interesting to see this in the main deck.
Yeah, there were a couple of people who were mainboarding Lancia this tournament, and they had massive success. I mean, if you can afford it, it really looks like the turn-ending hand traps right now are like Droll and Lockbird and Lancia, despite the fact that there are matchups in which they're both just completely dead.
Yeah, for sure. And with a field as varied as this one, it's kind of surprising to see them make the main deck. Oh, but we see the World Chalice send all Pot of Prosperity. Jeez.
Okay, so World Chalice is the Rycape special. Super bricky, but when you get to send it off Gearsu, it is almost unmatched. And then second main Pot of Prosperity. You know, I thought we would all be Pot of Prosperitying to find our combo starters. It turns out you just play the game as normal, and then Prosperity in main phase 2 to find the card that will put you over the top. And that's just what they're doing now, looking for the thing that answers the established board of single UCT pass.
Yeah. Sanctum pretty good into matchups that aren't necessarily this one, of course, being the Scythe lockout, but gonna grab Memory actually to extend the engine.
Yep. This is so weird. I mean, it looks like both of these individuals came with decks completely teched out to beat Virtual World, completely teched out to beat Drytron, completely teched out to beat like Tri-Brigade decks, and they were rewarded for it, then immediately entered a top cut in which their opponent was doing the least interesting thing in the universe.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to see how these decks are like equipped to fare against the metagame, and then they have to adapt quickly on the fly. But we see World Legacy Memory coming down after setting the secret, which is of course the key to victory in most matchups, because this card is absurd.
Oh, yeah. And
We're gonna be grabbing another copy of purple here, maybe searching for an indigo to just make that secret on.
wow. Oh, gosh. It really boggles my mind how much advantage the World Chalice decks are just allowed to get out of a single card. I mean, look at
Yeah, it
this.
turns
God.
yeah, it turns out when you print, 50 support cards for an archetype that is adjacent to about 7 other different archetypes, it's pretty good.
All right, so the dinosaur player has 3 cards to play with now. That still could be fine, but for the fact that we know that there's a World Legacy Secrets there, and Ignition activated at end step. Why are they playing Ignition? Holy shit!
I guess it sets up columns.
Oh, that's
But
so
yeah,
spicy.
that is going to be the end of the game for sure.
Oh yeah, I
Not
mean
really
we're
any coming
way
back from
way
it.
out.
Yeah, +1 that sets up columns is broken. Can definitely imagine. And we have game on board right here, but opting to go for the purple first.
Yeah, might as well just to like play around as much as you can. You don't want to get cheesed out of this game. What if they have Gores?
Gore's Battle Fader, Swift Scarecrow. Oh man. I do wonder what the Dino player's opening hand looked like, because we didn't get to catch the beginning of the game, but it did not look particularly strong.
Wow, set 5 pass, just devastating.
Yep, but just switch everyone to attack and get in for the game.
All right, and that's going to be the end of game 1. Not much to talk about. Pretty textbook, honestly. And this is what Rycape has been doing almost every single time that he's in Top Cut. Just like taking names, playing advantageous gameplay against Rogue. And then the couple of times that you do hit meta in Top Cut, you're probably teched out for it. Now, obviously, games 2 and 3 are going to play out a lot differently. The dinosaur player has a lot of room to move cards. Like maybe you take out the Drolenlocks, you definitely take out the Lancias, and side into more targeted builds. You also know what your opponent's on, so you're much more easily able to adapt to your turn 1. Maybe you want to be blind going for the Simorgh barrier statue, just because it's so strong against cards like purple.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see if the Dino player does go for that play, what Rycape has in terms of answers for it. We have seen, of course, things like Forbidden Droplet to try and mitigate that, but we do want to see if there's anything maybe in the engine that can take care of it.
Oh, it looks like Shannon Long, the individual who pretty much invented modern Mech Knights, I think it's fair to say, Column Master, is actually responsible for thinking up the Ignition play and plays it in their current build. And no shame in net decking Shannon. No one understands Mech Knight like that individual.
Yeah, it's a super, super cool idea, especially if you're already main decking the Sanctum.
All right,
so
well,
Dino is
starting with
opting to
Mist.
start. Yeah, pretty good one.
Pretty good. And back in the day, it was so easy to just completely screw Mech Knight out of the game. You just pick second and make them pass their first turn. Then you can battle phase them to death. Nowadays, they have Gearsu. And if they draw Gearsu, they win the game.
Yeah, you just have a 34% chance to instantly lose on the spot if you don't draw a hand trap. All right, out comes Animadorned, popping baby, grabbing pill, triggering the baby here. We've seen this before.
Yeah, I was complaining about this earlier in the day, but it is shocking that in 4 years, Dinosaur has changed its game plan so little. Like, it's still normal summon Ovi, activate Misk. The only thing that's changed really is Animadorned Archosaur.
Yeah, which actually, like, you would think that wouldn't have made that big of a difference, but just the fact that Misk for one actually turns your conditional play extenders in babies online is a very big bonus for sure.
Yeah.
Because this was definitely not a full combo being Misk baby previously, but of course now we can achieve our same linear game plan every single turn, every single game.
So this is pretty good for J-Teeth. You can go for probably Dolka plus the Simorgh Link, which is just absolutely insane here. If you can go Simorgh Link, Barrier Statue, Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, I can't really think of what would out that board. We're going to go from Animadorned into Linkuriboh into Secure Gardener, so we have material in the graveyard for the pill, and I imagine we'll be seeing the Ultimate Conductor right afterwards.
Yeah, the line also could be Linkuriboh plus Giant Rex into Reaperdokus, so you can put the Giant Rex in the graveyard, banish it, put the extra 4 on board for the Dolka, and now you have the baby to turn into the Winged Beast. So that way you end on UCT, Dolka, and the Barrier Statue.
Oh, you're even doing it in a way where you're like playing against Gamma and Step the Simorgh search. Whoa, this is so cute.
Yeah, and all this is impervious to Nibiru, by the way, because Reaperdokus also happens to be a dinosaur.
Gosh. I mean, with Dino, it's just the little things. You know, it's the little interactions like that. We started the turn with Misk, so Nibiru isn't online, that are just so killer. As a whole, they equate to a board that is almost impossible to stop. And, like, here you can fire off the Nibiru to trade for the Dolka, like, because you have a follow-up Gamma, and it requires your opponent to just heads up be like, oh, I'm not going to negate it. It's just so very strong.
And the thing about Dolka, too, is that it's not even once per chain. So you can negate both Nib and the Gamma. And
here's a fun fact that I learned today. Did you know Dolka can't negate its own effect?
Really?
Do you know why that is?
That is interesting. I actually do not know.
The answer is because he is not allowed to.
It's not allowed.
there's no game, there's no in-game reason. They're just like, whatever. I mean, that would be stupid.
No, smile. All right, well, here's the full combo.
Oh, wow. So leading with the Artifact Ignition, popping the Called by the Grave, that's going to allow them to set, I imagine, the Scythe. No way you're on, like, Moral Tech, is there? I'm going for Lancia instead.
Pretty good one. How are we special summoning, though? Well, Pot of Prosperity can dig for answers. And this is one of the best parts about this card, is that post-side, you just get infinite chances to dig for those Haymaker Go Second cards.
Yeah, games 2 and 3, this card might as well read Find Target Dark Ruler no more, and that's why they're spending an Ash on it, despite the fact that it isn't the card you need to be negating.
Yeah, that is definitely not out of the realm of what's unreasonable, but Gearsu is a decent enough follow-up.
Rough. Kind of forcing the activation of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno a little early. I'm interested to see what they're popping. It's the other UCT in hand.
Ooh,
happens.
Sheesh. Yeah. Also, Gearsu did not activate there, so I do wonder if the World Chalice might be lurking in that hand.
This is interesting. Or if it
was sided out.
Simorgh didn't even activate at end step, so it looks like the Dino player now has a difficult choice on their hand, which is figuring out how they out their own Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds. If they draw an Oviraptor that's lethal, they get in for 1,000 here. They might just try and go for it, like attack a... Oh, we know what the set card is. It's Girsu with 0
Yeah,
defense. Oh, this is
0
already
defense.
lethal.
Yep.
I'm talking myself into a really stupid play that doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, this is 8,200 damage right here. Oh, well,
Fossil
there's
dig
Fossil
off
Dig
the
anyway.
top. Nice, nice, very good. All right, might as well get the Oviraptor as well.
Yeah, so barring any unforeseen circumstances, this should be the end of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not even going to normal the Oviraptor. Says, if you can out this board or negate my Stormwinds or something, I'm just going to normal summon the Oviraptor main phase 2. Right Cape says, not even going to normal it. The disrespect. I'm not going to play into things.
Yeah, might as well not play into what we know is a set Lancia.
Maybe the card in hand was... I struggle to think of a card that could do it.
Torrential Tribute from hand.
Yeah,
Easy.
yeah. It's Quicken plus Torrential. Oh, good, another Lancia. Thank goodness. Was that 6th card Lancia plus Ignition in hand? What a miserable opener.
Yeah, off the top. You hate to see it if you're right, Cape.
And now we're going into game 3. This one's looking pretty good for both players. You know, one thing that I like about the Mecha Knight games is because the deck is so flexible, you have really excellent plays going first or second, and none of your plays outright win the game. So they usually go to 3 games, and they're usually 3 good games with lots of back and forth. And, you know, I guess we'll see if that's the case.
Yeah, what's cool is that both of these decks, as we mentioned earlier, are historically known for their, go second capabilities without really having a solid game plan going first. But that definitely changed over the course of, the past year or so, right?
Right.
So it's interesting to see that they're both pretty adept at being very flexible in that regard.
All right, and Rycape is electing to go first. Let's see if they can find Girsu. There's a ton of ways to get to it.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. So
This
opting
does
to
not
start.
look like it. Oh no! Oh no! Okay, it could still be fine. If one of those cards in hand is Lancia, we still might be able to do this.
Says didn't get to show off Sangan Sag.
Normal
Sangan into the
Sangan?
orange Mech Knight.
Stupid.
Yeah.
That is a play. I remember playing Cherubini Mech Knights because I thought
Yeah.
the interaction between Sangan into Cherubini off of a tour guide was so funny that I had to do it. But obviously, it's way outclassed by Girsu.
For sure. But yeah, Dino doing what it always does, which is find double Fossil Dig.
So easy, baby.
Oh, wow. Well,
Every time
to
I
be
see
fair-
someone open 2 of this card, I'm like, I hate this fucking card.
Yeah, why did Dino get to have a triple Rhoda that's not one?
Legitimately should be like banned, and no one would like raise a stink about it. They'd be like, yeah, of course. Okay, here's the Sanctum. That's good.
All right. There is the Lancia, so that's pretty good. Oh, but Ash,
God.
Sag.
Wow, that's painful. All right, that last set card had better be a Lancia that you're sitting on and the opponent pops before activating Miscellaneous Source.
Yeah, in some alternate reality.
Jesus. Remember the days of Iperia make Almirage, then summon purple? I do, in fact. God. When people were like,
gosh,
why would I normal A-lister? It only gets me Invocation. Iperia could get me anything. It could even be purple.
All right, well, here is Dino stuff. I mean, there's really not much to say here.
Yeah, so this is a pretty heads-up play. They're going to Oviraptor targeting the baby while there's a baby engraved. They're going to swap the baby for the baby, then they're going to trigger the baby, and then they're going to summon from deck a Giant Rex. I mean, really just groundbreaking stuff here.
Yeah, so we will see. And also for people wondering why Sanctum is kept in this matchup, it's that it can get Lancia, and Lancia can contribute itself from the field to activate as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the logic for keeping that card in.
Yeah, and it's shocking to see. Obviously, Dino was second most represented deck after VW with 0% conversion rate. So it's not surprising to see 2 of them in Top Cut, but it is surprising that they dodge Lancia all day. This is one of the decks that really has a rough time under Lancia, especially if they chain it to your hand Miscellaneous Source activation. And apparently it worked out anyway. Oh, it looks like we don't have the OTK? We maybe do anyway.
We'll see. Well, there is Giant Rex being banished in the process. I wonder if maybe the Dino player thought they were going first and kept in the barrier statue combo.
Yeah, hard to make the call about thinking if you're going to go first or second, but
Yeah, because we do have the exact same setup as game one here, and provided that there's no disruption, this is
so
gonna go unhindered.
this is 58. Simorg is still lethal, right?
24. Yeah, this is the same monsters that attacked the last game, right? Because the barrier statue attacked over the Girsu last game, and it was those three that went in for 82.
Crusty,
So
but
yeah,
you know, still does it. All right, that set card has got to be droplets. Ugh, that's so bad. I'm just
yeah.
describing like the worst possible card in history. Send my whole hand to the
Alright.
graveyard not to die and then lose to Dolka.
Drowning Mirror Force one time.
Secret is a card. Unfortunately, with no targets, it is not a very good one.
Yeah, looks like that's gonna be the end of it.
Wow, and that's it. Dino advancing, and let's see if we know anything else from Top Cut. I think that's the first one that has been decided, despite the fact that it was the last one that started.
Yeah, we were talking about interactivity and good back and forth matches in games 1 and 2, but that was just a straight up brick from Rycape into an Ash on the only play.
And that happens so seldom for this deck too. I mean, Mech Knight really is, you know, between Prosperity and Girsu and Memories and Purple setups, so easily able to find every part of its game plan. Shocking to see it not do so. I'm sorry, Rycape. Maybe next time. Play your strongest card. Hey, everybody, it is time for the top 4 of the February Chalislime Monthly. We have got 4 fantastic decks in Top Cut, 2 invoked Dogmaticas playing a mirror that, despite what chat has demanded, we will not be watching, and Dinosaur versus Drytron. 2 good decks. 2 good decks. And 1 good co-commentator. SirEmanon, are you here?
I'm here and happy that you are not afraid to overrule chat.
Oh man,
Thank you.
while I do have some reservations about, you know, being a tyrant, I will overlook them so that we don't have to read a fucking trap card. I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry, chat.
I would rather just not sit down and read Alistair's text for 20 minutes.
Yeah, seems good. Seems good. So, oh, we have to change both of these. Whoops.
All right, well, so we're starting off with an instant fusion here, which is
Stupid.
pretty interesting.
Oh, so dumb. Oh my gosh. What is this, 2018? Instant fusion for Millennium Eyes restrict to insulate my Miscellaneousaurus play. Oh, so silly.
Yeah, if the nameplates were off, I would have thought that this was the Drytron player starting off, because we do see a lot of players on instant fusion now in that deck, just because like Droll and Psycho Reader are such crippling hand traps, but playing it in this deck, pretty interesting as well.
Yeah,
I guess you could just link
I
it
don't know,
off.
buddy. It is kind of cool to
Yeah,
link
link
off
it
for
off
Link
later.
Karibo, right?
Yeah. Now, I mean, to be fair, Ash and Misk usually is a turn ender. So
Skyhawk Streaming has actually just informed me of something that I did not want to know. Do you know why they're playing Instant Fusion? It's not always to do Millennium Eyes Restrict stuff. It is also because you can make Time Wizard of Tomorrow to pop babies.
I'm trying to process those words you just
Yeah,
said.
You know, Time Wizard of Tomorrow.
I am pulling up this card's text and reading it just to see it for myself.
And Helias, who made it really far with Dinosaur, said, today I won a game off of Time Wizard of Tomorrow. That's actually the point of the card, right? Just like it used to transform Baby Dragon into Thousand Eyes Dragon, it is now transforming babies into dead babies.
This card says you can toss a coin
Excellent.
and call it, and then destroy as many monsters on the field as possible. And if you do, okay, so the coin toss doesn't actually affect if the monsters get destroyed or not.
Right.
I thought it did. In which case,
then
that
it would be terrible.
Pretty terrible, yeah.
J-Teeth says Skyhawk is lying and that it's only used for Millennium Eyes. Maybe in J-Teeth's deck. I have no doubt in my mind that Skyhawk is playing this garbage. In fact, he is literally in chat explaining the combo line. Instant Fusion plus Baby plus Lost World means Time Wizard of Tomorrow pops your own baby and protects with either Lost World, and then you get Chainlink 1 Baby, Chainlink 2 Baby. Thank you, Skyhawk. Miserable.
You know, we were always trying to build around the unsearchable one.
I suppose. So this is pretty good. Rep Reducus targeting Millenniumize Restrict means that we get to keep the baby on field, which rocks.
Yeah. And we've seen this setup already. There's not really much to say.
Yeah. How do you feel about Dolka Simorg? Simorg is good enough for Bird Up. It's going to be good enough for a deck that actually plays good cards.
Yeah, for sure. And also, I didn't entirely pay attention because I was reading the Time Wizard fusion monster. But if this baby is able to stay on board, then that's a nice kind of residual pop for the UCT to protect the barrier statue from being run over.
Right.
And now that we have Dolka on our side of the field, we can freely turn this Millenniumize into a Winged Beast.
Wait, it's actually terrible, right? I hope the Baby Ceresaurus is going to die at end phase, like it's a Misk or something, because otherwise you can pop the baby with UCT, but you're still under barrier statue.
Yeah, that is also true.
Are there any wind dinosaurs?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, I'm sure Skyhawk will tell us in chat.
I am not entirely sure if there are any.
Oh, we've got literally every dinosaur player in the chat right now. Graboid Fan 31 says yes, there's a dino wrestler. And Shed Injask says Oxygeddon. Well,
oh, perfect.
That's the one. Are they on Oxygeddon? Lock in your answer now.
Wait, isn't the pendulum dinosaur that's like a vanilla also a wind? Oh, never mind.
All right. Well, good game. Excellent game. All right. Well, that's Drytron for you.
Yeah, well, no outs to the wind barrier statue. Shocking.
I'm not shocked. I wonder how that other game is going. I told them they could start a little early, so I hope that they are
drawing invocation, as it were. All right, well, now we get to see Drytron go first, and if there are any means of stopping. I mean, to be fair, we've seen Joel in the main deck, so not really any reason to omit it post side.
Right. Drytron is one of those decks that, I mean, VW is a deck that clearly has a really high ceiling and a lot of powerful plays, but is a little bit bricky. Drytron, in my experience, doesn't feel like that. It's like almost every hand can do something.
Yeah, I mean, when you play, anywhere from 17 to 20 names, you better draw one.
So Cyber Emergency can be any name, and it's going to be Alpha. Okay, do they have the Ben 10 already? Oh my God. Oh, that might just be the end of the thing. One time called by?
Orange Light called by. Orange Light called by?
Orange Light is enough. Orange Light is enough. Pitching Orange Light. Holy shit.
All right, second draw.
Gamma!
Oh, Gamma!
Oh, no! Oh, they should have kept the other Orange Light. That's so terrible. They go down to 2 cards. Well, that was a fun turn, everyone. We'll try again next turn, and troll Gamma in the opener. Now, if my experience against Dino is anything to go off of, the remaining cards in the Dino player's hand are Fossil Dig, Baby Ceresaurus.
Some combination.
That's one of them.
Lost World. Yep.
It's Lost World.
Prosperity, everything.
Well, yep. Lost World Ovi. 2 cards, Lost World Ovi. You got it, dude. Dino truly is the best fucking deck. Oh,
I think we are overestimating the importance of matchups and how Dino stacks against the metagame, because it doesn't matter when you just get to draw the same cards literally every single game.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pretend that Dinosaur won this game. Generator could have won this game if they opened fucking Drollodlock Gamma. Getting Miscellaneousaurus. Let's see if there is a baby in hand. If there's a baby in hand, ooh, I will be mad. That means that in the 3 cards, it was... Oh, there's not. Okay. Thank God.
Truly,
well, not that we know of.
Enthralling, exhilarating gameplay, never before seen. 2 hand traps into Lost World, turning off everything and entering a token into Oviraptor.
That is just
every time. Every time.
2 hand traps, both of them end the turn, by the way. Not like Ash or something. It's always Gamma, it's always Drollenlock, and it's always an easy 2-0 for the Dino player, doing their best to deny me ad revenue Jesus, that was painful. Oh, I will just never get over the beauty that is John D. Acapinti. Folks, we've had a good old day. We've had some goofs, we've had some gaffes, we've had some laughs, we've had some terrible decks, some really awful decks, and we've had some upsets. We've seen Warrock completely annihilate Bird Up. We watched Cyber Dragon make it into top 8 before just completely getting destroyed. And now we are down to 2 decks. We are down to Space Dandy 1993, the luckiest invoked Dogmatica player I have ever seen in my entire life, and J-Teeth, who is playing Dinosaur. And let me tell you, folks, I could not be more excited to not only be casting this game, but also sharing it with my good friend, SirEmanon. How are you doing here today, SirEmanon?
Doing fantastic, but I do have to kind of clarify something you just said. You call Space Dandy lucky, but I call it being a skillful invoked pilot.
Yeah, apologies, yes. Only the most skillful invoked pilots can draw as well as Space Dandy did. And if you're not drawing that well, you maybe need to go back, you need to practice, you're maybe just not as good as you think you are. And speaking of good opens, here we go.
Yeah, just gotta rig the Edo Pro Shuffler a little bit and find your way into Alistair every single game, as evidenced by this game right here.
Oh!
Coming down. Gamma, gamma, gamma!
Oh my god, broken! Oh, wow.
It's a gamma! Boy!
And we've got action out of the starting gate. Droll into Gamma, into Ash, into the worst A-lister in the history of time. They're normaling it anyway. No way, after all this, they've hard-drawn Invocation. Absolutely!
No.
Oh, I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, I love Yu-Gi-Oh! After all that, they have it anyway.
No.
Simply too easy, chat. Simply too easy. Oh
easy.
My god.
Lancia.
No, okay. That would be a little too funny. Okay. And sending the Gamma being like, all right, well, I'm never going to be able to activate this again.
Choosing to not keep it in hand for the free negate.
Chat says, this is the best invoked player of all time. Holy guacamole.
It is pure skill, I am telling you.
Oh, gosh. Oh, wow. Well, at minimum, the Droll prevented anything but this, we have made it to Makaba Pass. Potentially there could have been an Adir, there could have been an Ecclesia. You're gonna what? Makaba the Fossil Dig? Yeah, right. You're gonna hash the Fossil Dig. Do they have a Gamma?
Gamma. Oh no.
Called by even better. Holy shit, this is just the game in which hand traps mean literally nothing. They're gonna Makaba the Fossil Dig! Setting a Pot of Desires, last card in hand A-lister. Okay, floodgates are down. Do you have a copy of Souleating Oviraptor? 2 cards. 2 cards.
Misk baby, easy. Let's go.
They're thinking about this. They're thinking a lot about this one. Okay. Let's see the Ovi.
Come on. Every time they have to have it. Oh,
okay.
There's step 1. Right.
We're getting there.
Step 1 accomplished. Come on.
Evo Pill. Okay. Not as bad as it could have been.
I saw a green and I thought it was another Fossil Dig and I was about to freak out.
Okay. So this is actually not a good setup at all. They get to clear the board or at minimum trade for the Makaba, but the opponent just gets to normal summon A-lister, and that's so good.
And that is about the end of it. Unless if both players manage to get extremely good top decks.
They're both going to be top decking now? I think you misunderstand. One of these 2 players has an A-lister in their grip.
Right, we will see. Alright, top deck Nadir Servant, or Ecclesia, or Desires.
Yeah. Wow, it sucks they had to pitch that Desires there. Oof.
Yeah.
So it turns out drolling and fighting over it was correct. The Desires could have translated into any number of broken nonsense. Alright, going for the Invocation.
Truly riveting gameplay. We can go for Algides here, even if we wanted to.
Algides would be fine, but sets up 0 negates. At that point, we're just dead to Ovi off the top. It looks like they are going for it.
Yeah.
Do they draw Punishment or something? Jesus. All right, down goes Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Well, Invocation back the A-lister says you have 1 turn to play, fella. 1 turn to play. It better be good.
Ooh, what's interesting is that... Oh,
What?
okay.
No, absolutely not. For turn? Oh, come on!
Oh.
Oh my god. And banishing the Tyranno for the Macabre. Oh my word. So it's not lethal.
Wow.
Um,
It's not game.
and I don't think they've already invocationed this turn, right? Activated the
Yes.
add to hand. So there's going to
Yeah.
be no negates, but whatever you do, it's got to out this entire board, including an Aegides, which seems almost impossible.
So I was going to say before we saw the amazingly skillful top deck invocation was that because Meltdown was on board, there was no way to respond to the Algides to pop the UCT, which would have maybe turned on Ecclesia, but that's just the end of the game right here.
Jesus Christ. Space Dandy 1993 truly is the greatest invoked player who ever lived. I mean, we should have had no doubt after the previous game. We should have had no doubt. But any doubters, I hope your doubting has been quelled. 64% of you think that Invoke Dogmatica is taking this, and I would find it hard to disagree.
All right, well, very quick side. Let's go into a fast game too.
Oh, okay. Prosperity is a good start. So we're going to go for 6 here. We know both players are on Ash and Droll. I don't know if you even Ash this. It just puts you so dead to Gamma always.
And miss, card drawn, and just everything else. It's got to wait.
It's hard, though, because you can't really wait on Prosperity. It's always going to be the best possible card in the deck. And yeah, they're going for Ash Blossom here.
Ooh.
And no Gamma.
right.
All right, do we have it anyway? Oh,
Wow.
no. Oh,
Never before seen.
And
of course,
normal A-lister. We really out here in the year of our Lord 2021, ashing and then beating with A-lister. Okay, that's something.
all right. Show us the invocation again.
You got it. 2 games in a row, buddy. You got it. Oh.
I'm just waiting with bated breath. Just waiting for it.
Okay.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay,
Right,
Disciple's
well,
still
enough.
really good. We're going to use Disciple here to send, I imagine, Titan-clad to the graveyard, or maybe the Shadal stuff. I mean, we know that Space Dandy's on it, but we've seen it very little. We're going to add an Ecclesia to hand, and then we'll be able to search it as well. Looks like we are going for the Apkalone. We'll see if we convert from a card in hand, or if we are going for the Maximus line.
We shall see.
Getting the Schism.
Oh, well.
Pitching the Schism. We're going all in, buddy. All right, so we're
right.
going for Ecclesia.
Well, this hand was very good. Above average.
I would say, yeah. Ecclesia triggers. Let's see if the Dino player is on an anti-Maximus extra deck, and they kept it in past the 6 cards for Prosperity. Seems like a 0% chance. Dragma here banishing the Almirage and Graveyard. We'll summon this card, and we'll send a couple of cards from the extra to the graveyard. They're going to be probably, if I had to guess, Titan-clad and Construct. Construct to get back the Schism, and Titan-clad to be the dark material for a Winda.
Oh. Oh, sad.
No. Oh, JT says, I missed the trigger. This Lancia is just 1 second too late. Oh, no.
Oh. Pressing the A button is
fundamental.
Sometimes not effective. Yikes. Looks like this Maximus is resolved.
Oh, we just
okay.
killing them? Oh, does it not even matter? We're just killing them?
Kitchen sink. Yeah, I mean.
That's 2K, 2K,
This
3K,
is
1K. That's
8,000.
8,000. If you've got Nibiru, it'll do it, but otherwise... Nope, that's the battle phase, and Jesus, a quick 2-game set for the best invoked Dogmatica player in the history of time. Space Dandy 1993 waging eternal war on my ad revenue. My God.
Wow, this was This was like 10 minutes,
Yeah, this was not close.
probably.
This was 10 minutes at maximum. Wow.
This is the real 10-minute testing video.
Yeah, Jesus. Even through it was what? They had Prosperity and then Lancia. I wonder what the other cards in hand were because this was a devastatingly bad open for the Dino player. But congratulations to them on such a deep run. You know, nothing to shake a stick at. Beating a lot of really storied players and good decks on their way, but falling before the final boss, Space Dandy 1993, your Chalislime February 2021 champion. That's wow. He made that look
I,
so easy.
I think he has embodied the spirit of Alistair himself, fusing his DNA somehow. Because that was something else.
That was not fast. Holy Christ. Big win for Catholicism today.